Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome to Lifestyle Manifesting. I'm Shannon. On my channel, I discuss manifesting as a lifestyle, creating your life, being the deliberate architect and designer of your life. Today, I want to talk about glowing up. In my VIP group, I am doing a challenge, and our month of March, we're going to be glowing up in the best version of ourselves. So what is a glow up? I mean, a glow up is when you're transforming yourself physically, mentally, emotionally. And when you're a conscious creator, you know, with the law of assumption, you know that your reality is created from your perception, right? Your reality is created from your consciousness and what you're thinking. Your self-concept is creating your reality. So you don't even necessarily have to glow up on the outside. All you really have to do is glow up on the inside. Now, we're gonna have fun with this and glow up in every area of our lives. But if you wanna glow up and be the best version of yourself, you just start to believe that you are the best version of yourself. Start to develop the person you want to be. Start to brainstorm and develop the person you want to be. Who's that person? What do they think? What's that version of you think? The version of you who has it all, what does that version of you think? The version of you who has the best job, what does that version of you think? The version of you who has a dream life and is enjoying every day of their life, what does that version of you think? In relation to love, what does that version of you think? In relation to family and friends, like, what is that version of you thinking? You need to get into the mind of that version of you to become that version of you. So brainstorm. This is what I actually do in my self-concept course. My self-concept course is created for you to brainstorm and develop and create that character, like the character you that you want to be. So develop that character, come up with the character traits, the thoughts, the feelings, the assumptions of that version of you. And then you become that version of you by taking action on that version of you, by affirming that version of you, by thinking from that version of you. Are you ready for your glow up? If you want to glow up and you want to be a part of a group that's glowing up, we are doing a challenge in my VIP group. If you want to check it out, you can join free for 3 days. The link's in my bio. It's Shannon's VIP group. We are going to glow up. So if you want to join free for 3 days, you can watch the video that I posted today and how we're going to start the challenge for glowing up March 2023, being the best version of ourselves, thinking from the highest version of ourselves and becoming that version. Lauren, sometimes SP shows up in a way I don't like. How can I figure if what I'm doing, what you want to figure out what you're doing to cause it? They're showing up in the way you don't like. All right, well, the first step is your self-concept, right? Your self-concept is what you think about yourself, what you perceive about yourself, and how you see yourself. Okay, that's your self-concept, right? Your assumptions that you have about yourself. Do you have feelings of insecurity? Because if you whatever you are and think about yourself, it's reflected and manifested in your world. So if you have an insecurity, if you think he's talking to someone else, why would he be doing that? Because he's only reflecting what you're doing, or what you're thinking, right? And what you're thinking about yourself. And if you feel that, if you're feeling you're not enough or you're feeling insecure, then your world must reflect that, okay? So number one is you can first take a little bit of a dive to get in touch with your own self. This is about self-awareness and your self-perception, right? So get into the thoughts of yourself and get deep within, knowing and feeling what are those things, like what are the reasons why you think this is happening. Okay, so ask yourself questions. Why do I think that I'm getting this kind of behavior? Because you'll actually have the answers. You have the answers within you. You just have to ask yourself and connect with that answer. All right, so the thing is, you don't even necessarily have to find out the why, because right now in the present moment, you could create a version of you who's already perfect and has your manifestation by being that version of you and thinking from that version of you. So the version of you who thinks that everything's perfect is saying things consistently like everything is perfect. Okay, so let's say you affirm everything's perfect, and then you go, but it's not. Okay, well, so why, if you're focused on why it's not perfect, that's why it's not perfect, because you're focused there. You're focused on what you don't want. You need to focus on what you do want, or the reality you do want to experience. So you focus on thinking from the version of you who has the desire. Okay, so what could you do in the present moment? Let's say they show up unwanted, right? I mean, an unwanted experience that they're showing up. In your mind, you don't give it any importance or attention. You're the creator. Don't focus on something that you don't want or that you don't like. So don't give that any attention. And then instead, shift your attention to what you do want. How do you want them to behave? You could also use revision to revise that experience that you had. Okay, so if they show up the way you don't like, and let's say you're together, they go home, just imagine that they showed up the way you do want. You recreate the experience, because the only thing that exists is your memory of the past. So do you want to remember what happened that you don't like, or do you want to create what you do want? Janie, hi, what have you manifested? Okay, well, I have talked on most of my lives, I mean, not every single one, but about the things that I've manifested. I manifested and changed my life in 1 year. Everything I wrote down, I manifested in 1 year. I manifested $100,000, a lump sum. I manifested over 120,000 followers here on TikTok. In Instagram, I manifested 20,000 followers in 2 weeks. Okay, so those are some of the more recent things I manifested. I manifested free upgrades on flights to first class. I've manifested free concert tickets. I mean, here's the thing. I'm manifesting my whole life, right? We're all already manifesting everything. I think it's because I know my worth now and I don't accept BS from anyone. Perfect. I didn't totally catch your question because it's in a couple different messages, and I think there's one that I'm not seeing. It might not have populated yet. Okay, so here's what you want to do, but I like this part of your question where you say, I know my worth now and I don't accept BS from anyone. You know your worth now and you have expectations of standards of how you want to be treated. So keep up with how you expect to be treated, because as you solidify yourself that you're not putting up with anything that's low-hanging fruit from the tree, that you're only striving for the best experiences, the best relationships, you will experience that. You will experience it and from other people and your specific person. Okay, so here's what you want to do. Keep holding the vision in your mind of you having the desire you want. If it's a relationship, just keep affirming that relationship. You don't have to focus on any specific person. Just focus on how would you feel being in a relationship. You would feel loved. You would feel secure, right? When you go to the end, going to the end of what you want, if that's a solid, secure relationship, then that's what you want to practice feeling. So you could practice feeling it just by simply affirming it, by affirming, I am secure. I'm secure. I'm loved. And then what you can kind of get a little deeper into that. What does that feel like to feel secure and feel loved? That's where you put your focus, because if you are feeling secure and loved and chosen and wanted and treasured, you cultivate that feeling from within your world. You project that out to your world, and it's law. You must have that experience. The only reason why people don't necessarily have that experience right away, you will have it at some point, because you'll drop any opposing story, worry, doubt, and fear. So worry, doubt, fear, opposing story, all focus on the opposite of what you want. And that's why people manifest the opposite. What you can do is just remember, stay loyal to that vision. I know my worth, right? That's what you can affirm. I know my worth, and I know what I expect in a relationship. And then it looks like X, Y, Z. And that's something you'll consistently affirm. At some point, you won't even need to affirm it because you will just know it. So you don't necessarily need to affirm something you know, something that you expect. Oh, Gabby said, me and SP are doing amazing. Hello, thank you for the update. I love it. Please post your success stories. I love that, Gabby, you're posting your success story. Everyone else, post your success stories, because that's powerful, not only for yourself to acknowledge it, remind yourself of your own power, but also let other people hear your successes so they feel empowered and they feel inspired. Okay, it's like success begets success. Like when you talk about success, you get more success. Okay, so don't focus on the failure and what's going wrong. Focus on your successes, because you'll create more successes. All right, that's amazing, Gabby. I'm excited for you. So keep that vision in your mind. Keep making it bigger or better, or I mean, not better, it's already probably perfect. Okay, but you might have different visions now. Back to Lauren. Yeah, he's loving, but at times he can be a little cold. Because here's what happens. Here's kind of like some conditioning that we might have had in the world before we woke up to know we're the creator. The conditioning could be, you have those loving experiences, but then when they act cold, you start wondering, why is he being cold? Why is he being a jerk? And then you're focused on that. And then you're trying to solve that. And you're like, is it me? Did I do something wrong? Or am I feeling insecure? We could start to create assumptions about ourselves. Is my old self, have I not solidified my self-concept? Those are all doubts. And all those doubts keep that cold experience in place. Because when you start to doubt, now you're matching thoughts that build up the momentum of doubt and doubt and doubt. So you could potentially get more cold behavior. So in order to stop that and break the cycle, you have to focus on what you do like. Focus on how loving he is. If you focus on how loving he is, what's going to happen? If you're projecting your experience and you're focused on love, being loved and loving, and he's loving, and that loving experience, then you're going to have more of that. Okay, so I mean, it could be as simple as the fact that you just notice the cold behavior and you put a little focus on it, right? You get aggravated about it or annoyed, or you think, I put in all this work, and how could it be cold behavior? I've been getting so much good behavior. Well, just because of the fact that you're putting attention on it. It's that simple fact. Okay. So if something is persistently coming up and it's just a cycle over and over and over, you should take a little bit of a deeper dive and ask yourself, like, is it because I still feel insecure? Right? I'm not saying you specifically, but that's as an example. If someone's insecure, then that could keep, surfacing. Okay, so you want to address that. Instead of feeling insecure, make a decision. I am secure in myself. Okay, and then you focus on being the version of you who's secure. That's part of a solid relationship, is secure, or security, right? Secure in yourself, secure that you're loved, right? When you go to the end of a relationship that's loving and caring and secure, you would feel secure. You would feel like, so what if they're talking to some random girl at a bar, because you're secure. You wouldn't be worried. You'd be so secure it wouldn't matter, that probably your person would be like not even interested and be like, hey, I was trying to get rid of that person trying to talk to me. Okay, so focus on the loving aspects, because you bring more of that to you. Create what you want. Absolutely, Sarah. I love it. Just create what you want. I was thinking about that earlier today, because I went to Catholic school for 12 years. Okay, so there is this thing called Catholic guilt. And I was kind of reminiscing about how I felt guilty about a lot of things in my life, like feeling guilty to be a certain way. Okay, so dissolve all of that from the past, because it exists. And I'm not worried that I'm talking about it now, because that's not who I am anymore. It's not who I am. I created the new version of myself by stop focusing or no longer, by no longer focusing on that past version of me and deciding that I get to create what I want. I can be anything I want. I can do anything I want. I can have anything I want. Yeah, I was sharing that a little bit in my VIP group today about, yeah, you can do anything you want. You can create anything you want. Hi, Crystal. I'm assuming he's so heartbroken right now because we haven't spoken, and he'll reach out. Of course he will. Of course he will. Okay, he's so broken right now. And then, I mean, we could use, essentially our life is like a story. I believe Shakespeare spoke about this. Shakespeare spoke about how life is a story. It's the story, right? And he wrote the greatest stories. So it's a story that you're telling. So you could tell that story in the present moment because that story can help us feel better, right? He's so broken because you're looking at the 3D and seeing that they're not there. So that's going to help you to tell the story. Like, of course he's heartbroken. Of course he's going to reach out. Okay, so now go to the end. Now you could say that in the moment, but at the same time, affirm the end. Affirm the end. A really powerful way to perceive your reality is thinking from your self concept, right? So go to the end of the version of you who feels secure in the relationship, secure that you're chosen, secure that you're loved, secure that you're included and wanted and adored and treasured. So how does that version of you really feel and think? And what kind of action do you take in your life? I mean, you naturally will take action, but start thinking about when you're focused on any idea or affirmation and you're consistently affirming it, you'll naturally take action from that. You'll naturally become secure just by affirming it. It will be natural. All right, so I'm going to say congratulations to you. Hello, Top Millionaire, always. Great username. Thank you for following. With Kim. Hi, I was telling my sister about your experience with mosquitoes. I'm trying to get to do this. Do it with mosquitoes or anything else, right? Do it with anything else. And that is actually a great way to test your reality. Like, you test your reality. Okay, here's the thing, but when you're affirming something, let's say you're testing to have an experience with no mosquito bites, right? So when you are out and let's say you're still getting them, you don't want to put the focus and attention on you're getting them. You do want to put instead you're going to put your focus on what would it feel like if I could go out without putting repellent on, or maybe you're still putting a repellent on, but they don't bother you whatsoever. But go to that experience by affirming that experience and imagining it. You can even use revision. Let's say you went out and you did get a bunch of mosquito bites, right? You can use revision at any point in time, and even from right now, start creating a new memory of your past. Just see what happens. Just see what happens. I know in a way that could feel delusional, but really you can be delusional. I mean, it's just understanding that reality is so malleable and so lucid that you can create anything you want. You could shift a timeline where you didn't, now you don't have that experience of getting mosquito bites. Eva, I manifested my ex. He reached out, but he's still with third party. Okay, well, first of all, it's a big success. You manifested X to reach out. If that's what you wanted, great. So acknowledge that, because it's going to be important that you acknowledge your manifestations so that you could see that you are the creator, that you could see how powerful you are. Okay, and then just in you acknowledging, but he's with the third party still, you just solidified that reality. Do you want to solidify that reality for you? Do you want that reality? Because you just solidified it. He's still with the third party. Solid. That must be, if you're saying that and you're stating that, okay, this is why we don't put our focus and attention on what we don't want. You have to put your attention on what you do want. And I know you want to tell me so you could figure it out. Sure. Circumstances don't matter, but you need to intentionally create that. Okay, so think from this perspective. I'm manifested, like I'm thinking the first person for you, right? So this is what you're thinking. I manifested my ex to reach out. Like, yeah, I did it. This is cool, right? This is working. It's working. Get excited about it because it's working. Okay? Okay, he told you something about whatever, the person that he's with right now. So what can you think? You can just think, okay, that circumstance doesn't matter. I get everything I want. That's it. Now go to the end. Go to the end of you. Okay, going to the end is you thinking about and imagining that you already have your desire. So go to the end, thinking and feeling and knowing you already have your desire. How about just knowing you have your desire? Affirm you have your desire and decide to know it. Okay? It's okay if it's not manifested in the physical form. It must manifest. Keep saying it, because the more you keep saying it, you will experience it. I just posted some videos yesterday about my experience when I was getting a refund, and they kept saying, you're only going to get 300, and that was several days, and I was like, what? I'm like, I should get more. and then I just got firm in my mind, and I said, and in my mind I thought, 1,000. I wanted 1,000. So even though they told me 300, I was thinking in my mind, no, I want 1,000. As they told me 300, I didn't start thinking, oh my God, why are they only saying 300? What's going on? It's not working. Okay, I mean, I did think that a couple days before, just for a split second. But then I reminded myself, I'm the operant power. I'm the creator of my reality. You could relate this exactly to SP, by the way. SP calls you and they tell you, oh yeah, I'm still with this third party. What do? You just don't even listen. You just say, oh sure. Great. I mean, you don't have to say great to them, okay? You're just like, you just listen, say, okay. I always wish you the best. If your goal is to be together, then you should always wish them the best, right? You're not saying like, I wish you the best for that relationship. You just say, I wish the best for you. I want you to be happy. That's all you have to say. You're not begging them to come back to you. You're not trying to argue for your relationship. Pick me, be with me. You're not doing any of that, right? I mean, I'm not saying that you are. I'm just getting clear for anyone who's doing this, okay? So this is not what you want to do. You just say, I wish the best for you. I care about you, and I've always wished the best for you. I believe in you, and I know you're going to get everything you want in life. By the way, when you say something like that, do you know how much people love being around someone who wishes the best for them? And somebody who says, I believe in you? Okay, and then you just hang up the phone, and then what should you do in the moment? Affirm. I got this. Okay, this goal, this relationship's mine. Because I guarantee you could even have a call 2 seconds later, that person saying, oh my God, I just made a big mistake. Being with someone else, it's you that I want. Okay, so that's why you need to persist. Because even when I got the call that there were text messages, but I did get the final call saying $300. Okay, I affirmed 1,000. I could think, they called me, they said 300. In my mind, I didn't think that it wasn't going to work. I just disregarded what they said. Okay, so even though the world demonstrated an old reality to me, in my mind, I just thought, no, 1,000. Okay, and then I did voice my opinion, right? I said, I believe it would be fair if I got $1,000. Right away. Right away, she said, you know what, we'll do that for you. We'll do that for you. Okay, so I didn't get it. They didn't call me immediately and say you got the $1,000. I know sometimes we think that's possible. That could have happened. It just didn't happen in this case. But I didn't overanalyze it. I didn't say, what am I doing wrong? Maybe I didn't affirm. No, I just stayed loyal in my mind and I said $1,000. That's what I think's fair, and I got it. I got it in that moment. Okay, do you see how you translate this to a specific person? They call you, they tell you something. Hey, I'm with someone else. I don't care about you. I always loved you, right? Maybe they could say something like that to you. And are you going to feel heartbroken in that moment, or are you going to say, okay, I wish the best for you? You don't have to tell them and argue for you. For pick me. You don't have to do that. You just say, okay, In your mind is where the creative juices are flowing. This is spiritual sensation in your mind. In your mind, in that moment, you just think, no, I intend they tell me how much they love me. I intend they tell me I care about you. Okay, they could say it in that moment, or maybe you hang up the phone and an hour later they call you. But the point is persist, persist, persist. Because if you're thrown off just by the fact that they tell you something different, that's the reason why you didn't get your manifestation. So the reason I got my manifestation in the moment, essentially, is because I kept persisting. Okay, it was a couple days in the making, 300, texting back and forth. In that moment of the phone call, I was like, nope, I'm getting it. They still told me I wasn't getting it. I mean, I didn't. Well, I asked for more originally, okay? So when they said 300, I just didn't take that as a fact. No facts are final. I didn't take that as final. Okay, so that's why you want to detach a little bit emotionally. This is a game. Like detach emotionally. You're emotionally attached and identified to this human self. Okay, but here the thing is, this isn't really who you are. Who you are is bigger and grander and greater. You have the power to create what you want. Disregard, be less emotional about that situation, and now be the version of you who gets what you want, because the version of you is not heartbroken. I'm not you, but earlier, who said they were heartbroken? I get it, you're heartbroken. Start stepping into your power, because you could create. You could create what you want simply by being that version of you. Okay, so congratulations. And now, right now, you're changing where your perception right now. Okay, so go to the end and affirm that, because you could get a message today. Cassandra said, is my husband going to jail? Focus on what you want to play out, okay? Because I don't know what you want. Whatever you want, that's where you're going to go in your mind. Imagine you have what you want. Is it possible to manifest with our thoughts? That's what we're doing. You're actually already manifesting with your thoughts. That's what you're already doing. Your thoughts, it's really not just your thoughts, but your thoughts are coming from beliefs and assumptions, right? The thoughts that you have come from your state of being. So you're manifesting from within your imagination, the sum total of your assumptions, thoughts, beliefs, everything. That sum total of everything in your imagination creates your experience in reality. So even our thoughts about how we think reality works. Like we have thoughts that reality is hard and solid and it's linear time. Okay, but that's not even true either. Hot Cheeto. I suggested to him that we get back together and he said no and stop, but I'm still affirming. Yep, you're calm. I know it's us. I revise in the present. Okay, I could already tell it's done. I could tell that you've got this, because you're not here to say I'm triggered, I don't know what to do, but you're telling me you know exactly what to do. You're affirming, you're calm, you know you are, my hand here, finger puppets. Okay, you know you're in charge, right? You know how to revise in the present moment, so keep revising that. And let this be the very last time you tell that story. Okay, because you're revising it, so you're no longer telling that story. Even when I don't feel my best, everyone around me sees me as perfect. I love it, Just Ann. That's a great affirmation. Even when I don't feel my best, everyone around me sees me as perfect. Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice experience. Soul Sister, thanks for following. If anyone's new here, I know you're new. Anyone else that was new, I might have missed you. I do have a free Facebook group. If you want to join my Facebook community, I try to answer questions in there. There's a community of others that can help you. And I posted some affirmations yesterday within that group. Okay, guys, I have to go pick up my little ones who are getting big now. I love you all. You are powerful. You're the operant power. You can be anything you want. Share your success stories. Post your success stories. I want to hear your success stories, and I want you to create more success. If you want to work with me, I have so many different ways to work with me. The link in my bio, the link in my description has all my details, and I love you. Bye.